Evening. My name is Jeremy Deysach, and I am a FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness. I'm the founder of the free credit repair advice group here on Facebook. We've got 73,000 people, 73,000 members strong, totally rocking it out with credit advice. I want to let the room fill up a little bit because I'm doing an important topic tonight. Tonight's live is going to be for teens, for young adults. It could be for your kid, it could be for yourself. It's how to start on your credit journey, what steps you need to take, what things you need to do to properly start a credit profile. And I'm going to tell you how to find out what your credit looks like for free, how to get a good monitoring for it. I'm going to show you some cards that you'll be able to qualify even without any credit. Brand new cards. If you're a college student, if you don't even have an income, things you can do there. I also am going to show you a savings account where you can make monthly deposits into it, and it will count on your credit report as installment payments. So it'll raise your FICO score, your credit score. It'll round out that profile, and it'll get you in position to qualify for all your goals. So if you're watching right now on YouTube, on Credit TV, go ahead and smash the like button, follow. If you're in the free credit repair advice group, go ahead and make some comments, make some noise, give me some thumbs up. If you're watching on TikTok, hop in, y'all. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you're interested in finding out more about how to get your credit started. All right, I'm just going to update, make sure that we're live and everything's honky-dory in the free credit repair advice group. All right, it is. And we're broadcasting right now. We're simulcasted to Twitter. We're simulcasted to TikTok. We're simulcasted to 4 different places on Facebook, on YouTube, on Credit TV, a bunch of places. All right, so congratulations. You're becoming an adult or you're a young adult. And by the way, for those of you watching, not on TikTok, when I'm looking down, I'm looking at my phone. So hi, everybody on TikTok. Hi, everybody everywhere else. All right, so congratulations. You are a young adult. You're going to be entering your credit life. Or maybe you're a teenager. You're about to be a senior in high school. You're maybe about to go off to college. Maybe you're a young one on your own. Maybe you're a college student, okay? And my guess is if you did have a class in school that taught you all about credit, sadly, from my experience, a number of the things you learned might be wrong, or if you're anything like me, it was really the last thing I was paying attention to in high school was the class about credit. So, I'm blunt, I'm honest, I'm direct. That's what I do as a credit coach. So tonight, we're going to talk about how to access your credit report and see how you're doing. We're going to talk about how to build a good quality credit profile that lenders are looking for. All right, so what is credit? For those of you who are just joining, what is credit? Credit is literally borrowing money from somebody and paying them back. It can be a credit card company. It can be a bank. It could be an auto company. You're borrowing money. Could be a student loan company. You're borrowing money with the promise of paying it back, okay? Now, when you borrow the money, that money you got, that burger you bought with the Visa card, right? That car you purchased, that money that you owe, that's called debt, okay? You have to have credit to get debt, and you have to have debt to get credit. I kid you not. That's how the system works. And some people may ask, when I'll focus there, some people may ask, well, how do you get credit if you don't have debt, and how do you get the debt if you don't have credit? That's what we're going to do tonight. So, debt is the money you owe. Your credit score, and your credit report are a history of your willingness and ability to repay borrowed money on time or at all or not at all. So we have this general concept. We know we need credit, and you need credit for all kinds of things you may not even think about. Everyone knows you need good credit to buy a house. Everyone knows you need good credit to get a car or get a good car loan, and maybe you don't need mom or dad to co-sign for you, right? Everyone knows you need good credit to get loans, the Sally Mae loans beyond the Fed stuff, right? Everyone knows you need good credit to get credit cards and things like that. So we need to start somewhere. Okay, we need to start somewhere. Now, parents, if you're working with your kids, write this down, take this down, and all of y'all who are watching for yourselves, write this down, take this down, because this is going to be some important stuff. So when we want to look at our credit, we're about 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. Really, there's no point in really looking at it or doing much until you're in your 17s. And you don't really have a proper credit profile until you turn 18, but there are a tip or two I'll give you that you can get a head start, okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out, hey, is there a credit report for us? Hey, is there information on us to start credit with? Okay. Now, there are three credit bureaus. There's Equifax, there's Experian, and there's TransUnion. These are the three credit bureaus. All three of these places get information on you. They get it from banks, they get it from public records, they get it from financial transactions and student loans. They get info about you reported to them every single month. Now, you never gave them permission to do this. They never asked you if they could. It's just congratulations, you're a young adult, you're an adult. Congratulations, you've got a credit report. Now, these three bureaus, they're called bureaus, but it's not like the Federal Bureau of Investigations. It's not a governmental thing. These are three private companies. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, the three bureaus, are three private companies. It's like Nike and Reebok and Adidas. These are for-profit companies. They make money by collecting your data, and they make money by selling your data. Banks that report your data to them have to pay to report it to them. And that very same bank, when they want to see your credit, has to pay those same people to get it back. It's a great business model. Wish I thought of it. So there's three bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. There isn't a main one. There isn't one that's more important than the others. They're all equally important. Now, when you apply for credit, if you go and try to get a credit card, the people who you're trying to get the credit card from may check you out with one bureau or two bureaus or all three bureaus. You never know which ones. Okay, they don't tell you ahead of time. It depends on their individual bank's policies. Okay, when they pull up your information, they don't pull up this big pile of data and all the records and things like that. I mean, they can get that, but what they pull up is something called a credit score. By the way, if you guys find this valuable on TikTok, please share my live. Invite people that you think that this would be valuable for to join the live. Because and on Facebook, on YouTube, invite people to join, because this is, I think, a serious topic, something really important, and it's, I think, a good time of year to talk about this. So we've got those three bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Now, if you go and apply for a car loan, you go to a car dealership and say, I want to buy a $25,000 car. And they go, good, give me $25,000. And you say, but I don't have $25,000. I need a loan. They're going to contact, through their credit pulling system, okay, they're going to contact all three bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. The bureaus are going to come back with all this data, but it's not going to be a pile of data with everything, did you pay in March on this loan and things like that. They're going to come back with a credit score. A credit score. They're going to come back usually with something called a FICO score. FICO is a name brand of score. The FICO score. It's like iPhone versus Galaxy. Okay, these are different brands. Now, everyone happens to use FICO. I mean, almost everyone. 95% of lending institutions in the United States of America are going to use your FICO score. That's the score model. That's the brand. They're going to buy that brand of interpretation, your FICO score. 95% of lending institutions in the United States use your FICO score to determine if they're going to lend you money. The other 5% use things like Vantage scores and some other, proprietary systems. So we're not going to worry about those. We're going to worry about the one you're going to encounter the most, the FICO score. So what is a FICO score? A FICO score is essentially a risk rating. How risky would it be to lend you, John, that money? Hey, Susan, how likely are you to pay me back I'm Capital One. You're taking out a credit card. Susan, are you going to pay? Are you going to pay on time? Or are you going to pay at all? And this credit score, this FICO score that goes from 300 to 850. That's the range, 300 to 850. And 300 is bad and 850 is perfect. A great credit score, a good credit score, you want to be about 720 and up. As you get to be an older adult, you want 760, 780 and higher, okay? When you first start out, you might have no credit score at all because you've got no history of credit. We'll talk about that in a second. But all of these lenders are going to pull your FICO score. Now, what is FICO? FICO is an algorithm. It's a math formula. It's like a filter that they pour all this data through and it spits out a number. I'm going to show you, for those of you who are watching, sorry, on TikTok, I can't show you this, but if you're watching on Credit TV on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, et cetera, I'm putting up what's known as the FICO wheel. So the FICO score is made up of stuff in your credit report. 35% is your payment history. Did you pay on time? Did you pay on, at all? 30% is your amount of debt. 15% is how long you've had credit. 10% is new credit, like inquiries and brand new accounts. And 10% is a credit mix. Well, what type of accounts do you have? Credit cards are a type of account. Student loans are a type of account. Installment, there's mortgages, there's all kinds of different types. Those things all carry different weight in the FICO algorithm. So 35% payment history, 30% amount of debt, 15% length of credit history, 10% new credit, recent activity, inquiries, and 10% credit mix. All right. So that filter, that FICO filter, is applied to the data, your credit reports with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and they spit out a number. And that number will determine, do you get a loan or not? Do you get a credit card or not? Do you get a car loan or not? A house loan or not? Do you pass the background check for that job? Oh, by the way, young adults, they use your credit score and your credit profile when checking your background for jobs. Important thing to know. So if you're going to college, or you're going to tech school, or you're looking to get a good job, they're going to do a background check to see if you're trustworthy. They're going to check out your credit. If they see bad things, that's bad. If they see nothing, that's questionable. If they see good credit, you move to the top of the pile. All right. So they do background checks for jobs. They also use your credit score to help determine how much your automotive insurance is, your car insurance. They use your credit score for that in most states. They also use your credit score and your credit profile for background checks for apartments. So if you finally want to move the heck out of mom and dad's house, if you finally want to get out of the dorms and get your own apartment, it pays to have good credit. It's the difference between success and failure. All right, someone's saying, yep, and they don't need to tell you the specifics about your credit for employment denial. That's right. They can deny you for employment and not tell you it's because you didn't pay your credit card. Okay, it's because you're in a lot of debt. They don't have to tell you that. That is, Facebook users, that's a fantastic point. That's Rick Wenner, one of the administrators of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, and also a FICO certified credit coach like me, who brought that up. Awesome point, brother. Awesome point. So here's what we got going. We got these three bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. We're young adults. We know we need a credit score. We haven't had credit before. Maybe we're doing this for our kids. Maybe it's you guys doing this yourself. So where do we start? Where's a good place to start? I'm going to give you one tip, and I want you to proceed cautiously with this. If you know me from the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, or from any of my appearances on ESPN radio or Fox News radio or any of the places I've been, you'll know I'm not typically a fan of authorized user accounts. Okay, what's an authorized user account? An authorized user account is when you've got a credit card and it's your credit card and you're responsible for the credit card and it's in your name, it's on your credit, it's on your social security number and everything. And you contact the credit card company and say, hey, I want to add my son Jeremy as an authorized user. I want to add my daughter Christine as an authorized user. They add her to the account as somebody who can use the card. Maybe it's the emergency card you're sending with them to college in case of actual emergencies. And guess what? Venmoing money for a kegger isn't an actual emergency. Heads up, your parents will find out. So you get added to this authorized user account, okay? Now, this other person's credit card, mommy's credit card, daddy's credit card, starts to report on your credit. You actually get credit somewhat for their payment history. It's a cheat. This is a cheat code, okay? This is a hack for your credit. You're going to get, for certain purposes, the benefit of their on-time payments. So authorized users, the reason I'm telling you this is for introductory only. This is for starting your credit profile. This is for getting those first few cards, those first few opportunities open. While being an authorized user, and by the way, the authorized user, if you're on mommy or daddy's card, if you're on your brother or sister's card, if you're on somebody else's card as an authorized user, you can spend, but you are not responsible for the money. So mom or dad or brother or sister or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever are taking a big risk by making you an authorized user. So don't abuse it and only use it. Thanks, Kat. By the way, I've got one of my 4 black cats. I would call them my army of darkness. If you're watching on some of the video, you can see I've got goth, emo, dark, and ninja. Those are my 4 black cats, my army of darkness. So you may see them periodically walking throughout my home office, which also happens to be a bar. All right, so authorized user accounts. If you want to get your child started on credit, it will work to add them as an authorized user. That positive payment history will go on to their credit report. Now, mom and dad, if you miss a payment, if your debt's too high, that negative history will also go on their credit report. Now, what is the use of having this authorized user account? What's the purpose of this? Having an authorized user account on your credit as a youngster, as a young adult, as a kid even, a teenager, it makes it easier to qualify for your first credit cards. Okay, so the question is, hey, would it make sense to add my son as an authorized user on my card? Would it make sense to add my daughter as an authorized user on my card? The answer is yes, for introductory credit only. Why for introductory credit only? Why wouldn't you want to leave it forever? It's awesome, right? Well, a number of different types of lending do not consider authorized user accounts as your accounts because they're not your accounts, they're somebody else's. Why would you get necessarily credit for someone else's activity, right? So while they can be used to help get you some credit cards in the beginning, once those are obtained, undo the authorized user unless you're keeping it as an actual authorized user, unless you're keeping it as an emergency account for your kid or for somebody, right? I mean, that's a realistic thing. Or if you're older and the authorized user goes and buys your groceries for you and does those things, that's what authorized user is for. But once you've established your baseline of credit, you want to be removed from the authorized user accounts. Why, Jeremy? Why would you want to give up that history? Because it's not your history. And we need to get a good baseline then of what your history is, okay? So tip number 1 for the evening. And everyone who knows me is going, whoa, you have my blessing to add the kids as an authorized user to help them get their first credit card. Guys, gals, mom and dad, uncle and aunt, sister, brother, whomever, can add you as an authorized user to their account. And if it's a good account, they don't owe too much on it, and they've had a good payment history, well, then if they add you as that authorized user, it can help you get your first credit cards. All right, we're going to backpedal a little bit. All right, so we talked about the authorized user account. We talked about what credit bureaus are. There's 3 of them: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. We talked about FICO scores. We talked about why credit's important for background checks, for jobs, for apartments, for financing, for all kinds of things. Now, when you're first starting out and you want to develop credit, do you think it would be a good idea to know what's on your credit already? Who thinks that would be a good idea? I want some feedback. Give me some ones in chat. Give me some number ones in chat. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some likes and some loves and some follows and some throw money and send pizza, whatever that, but prepaid, whatever the deal may be. All right. Who thinks it would be a good idea to check out where you're standing before you try to do this project, before you try to develop your credit? Anyone? Does that make sense? All right. So if you're watching this video on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, and pardon me, on Twitter, TikTok, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to tell it to you. You can get your credit report absolutely free. An Equifax, an Experian, and a TransUnion credit report absolutely for free. The bureaus are required to give you one of them from each of the bureaus, a minimum of one time per year. Where you go to get that, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, get ready to type it in your phone. You're going to go to annual, ANNUAL, because it's an annual credit report. So you go to annual credit, CREDIT, report.com. And if you're watching on some of the video, you can see I'm pointing at it, and TikTok, annualcreditreport.com. 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 It's free. It's not going to give you that FICO score we talked about. But it's going to tell you if you've got a credit profile. Okay. When you go to annualcreditreport.com, you're going to enter your social security number, and don't worry, it's safe. You're going to enter your address, your date of birth, all your most personal information, right? Your phone number, your email, and they're going to give you in a PDF format a digital copy of your credit report. And all three of them have different formats, and they're really long potentially. But if you don't have any credit, you may look and there's nothing on there. And if you look and there's nothing on there, that means you're starting with nothing. That's fine. That's a clean slate. We're good. If you see something on there that's wrong, if you see something on there you don't recognize, then we get into a whole different area where you need to work on credit repair. And if you're watching on TikTok and going, dang, I need to do that, I want you to go onto Facebook. Yeah, that's what us old farts use. Go onto Facebook and go to the free credit repair advice group. It's free credit repair advice. It says home of the guarantee because I wanted to set it apart. It's got 73,000 people in it. If you have broken stuff on your credit report as a young adult, get in there, ask questions. Us coaches, we're going to answer your questions for free of charge. We're not going to charge you for this. We do charge professionally when you hire us, but we're doing this to get you guys and gals off to the right start. Okay. So you go to free annual credit, or pardon me, not free, don't write in free, annualcreditreport.com, annualcreditreport.com, and you pull up your credit report. Now, if you want one that's got scores, I can suggest one called Smart Credit. It's not your FICO scores. It's Vantage scores, so it's used by less than 5% of the lending institutions, but it's a super easy to read report. It's got all three bureaus right next to each other and stuff like that. That's the plus side. The minus side is it's credit monitoring. It costs you $21.99 a month. Now, if you're working on developing credit, it might be a good investment, but I tell you what, if you're just starting off, don't piss the money away. Don't waste the money. Go ahead and do annualcreditreport.com. Now, some of you have heard of something called Credit Karma. Ooh, the free credit monitoring. Credit Karma's junk. Use free annual credit. It's actually the bureaus. Credit Karma is clickbait. They have to pay out a $3 million lawsuit right now, class action to a ton of people because they gave them bad information and caused people to do inquiries and stuff. Bad juju. So don't even waste your time or money on that. Avoid the clickbait, as Rick Wenner says in the free credit repair advice group. Okay, so I want you to go to that annualcreditreport.com and pull up your free credit report from Equifax, from Experian, and from TransUnion. And when you've got it, don't feel silly sitting down with mom, sitting down with dad, sitting down with uncle, with aunt, whomever, if they actually know what they're doing, or coming to the free credit repair advice group or here on the TikTok. And if you're watching this later on TikTok, just ask me questions and comments on any of the videos and stuff. I'll be happy to answer you and set you on the right path. But you're going to want to look through anything that's weird. That's a red flag you want to worry about, but there should basically be nothing on there. Now, if mom and dad or aunt and uncle or sister or brother, whomever, add you as an authorized user on their account, and you do that before you pull your free annual credit, and it reports before, so you'll want them to add you as an authorized user like a good month before, because it takes time to report things. But if they add you as an authorized user on their credit card, okay, and then you pull that free annual credit report, you're going to see on Equifax, on Experian, on TransUnion, a credit history, a credit card history. So if you can do the authorized user thing, great. But some of you are going, Jeremy, I'm on my own. I don't have mom and dad. They've got bad credit, or we don't talk to each other, or I'm just on my own. It's okay. I'm going to tell you where to start. All right. There are some credit accounts, some credit cards that are easier to get than others. There's also that savings account, that installment savings account that I mentioned earlier, that is very easy to get. We're going to start with that. There is a savings account out there called SelfLender. I went ahead, if you're watching this on any of the replay things, SelfLender, it's HTTPS, so you get to the right one, // tinyurl.com/getself. Okay, tinyurl.com/getself. This thing is called Self, all right? And what happens is you open up this Self account, and you can commit as low as, I think it's $15 a month is the lowest one. I might be wrong, it might be $20 a month. Okay. You open up this account, and what Self does is they lend you $500 or $1,000 or whatever payment amount fits your budget that you're doing. Let's say it's $500, let's say it's $20 payments. So they lend you $500 and they put it into a savings account that you don't get to touch. They then have you make payments back to them for that $500 loan every month. $20 payment, $20 payment, 20, until you've paid off the $500. You've paid them back. Once you've paid off the $500, the money in the savings account is yours. You get it. You get it put into your checking account 7 to 10 days after you're done. So what happens is this: you're tucking money away for a rainy day. You're tucking, you're tucking $500 or $1,000 away for Ibiza next spring break, right? You're tucking this money away every month, but you're making payments on it every month, right? And because you're making monthly installment payments on this $500 or this $1,000 bank obligation, Self will report to Equifax, to Experian, and to TransUnion as installment, so equal monthly payments on that $500 or $1,000 bank obligation. That gets your credit report started. That builds you a healthy profile. That gives you a history. That gives you a FICO score. All while you're tucking $500 or $1,000 away for a rainy day. It's a win-win. Now, mom, dad, this is something you can pay for your kids when they're in college. If you're sitting here and you're thinking about starting credit for your kid, and you can't find $25 a month to throw into there, or collectively between you and your child, you can't find $25, or kids, guess what? That's just a couple Starbucks, man. Do this. All right, do this. Drink cafeteria coffee a couple times and just do this. It's so worth it. So I want you to go to tinyurl.self.com, and you're going to open that Self account. Well, will I qualify? I don't have credit. Yes. Are you sure? Yes. You literally have to be alive to qualify. And I'm not entirely positive. You might be able to be dead to qualify. I haven't checked, but you only have to be alive to qualify for this installment savings thing at tinyurl.com/getself. Now, I don't own Self. I don't work for Self. I work for Credilife. This is just the right product, the right tool for the right job. I actually do a Self. I don't need to. My credit's like in a different level. But I do a Self account every year. I use it as a Christmas fund. I do a $1,500 Self account, so I'm putting away $125 a month every month into this, and it automatically sweeps from my checking. And I have it paying out right at the end of October, right before Black Friday time. And if my daughter Sarah is watching this, this is where your $100 comes from. All right, so right before Christmas time, I get that payout, and then I open another one for the next year. So I'm building my credit, I'm rounding out my profile, I'm raising my score while I'm putting my Christmas money away. What a win! What a win! Okay, so self, that's the first tool that you want to have. Now here's a little asterisk. But Jeremy, you said you want to have credit cards, right? Yes, you do. About 3 months in to the self program, they're going to send you an email and offer you the opportunity to open up a self secured credit card. The secured credit card is going to be a real credit card. Charge it up, pay it down, pay it off, use it again. As long as you're happy with self, they're happy with you. You can revolve forever, right? That credit card is also secured by that same savings account you're making those payments into. Guaranteed approval. Guaranteed approval. Now you've got an installment account adding points to your score every month. You've got a credit card account adding points to your score every month, all while you're tucking money away for a rainy day. This is at like 25 bucks a month. Now, once you get the card, I'm going to talk to you in a little bit about how to use it. Okay? So that's the self account. You have to have one. You have to get one. As Derek, one of our coaches, puts, there's no hard pull. There's no hard inquiry. So parents, you know what that means. And for young adults watching, when people pull your credit, when you're applying for credit, you get a hard pull. You get an inquiry. Every inquiry costs you between 5 and 15 points off your score. Every inquiry lowers your score. Now, when you go to that free annual, or pardon me, when you go to annualcredit.com, remember it's at annualcredit.com to get your own profile, there's no inquiry for that. So you're not hurting your score by doing that. When you open self, when you go to tinyurl.com/self and you open your self credit building account, and then you open your secured credit card, there's no credit inquiry for that. So there's no inquiry, there's no damage, but they report to your credit, raising your score, rounding out your profile, while you're tucking $500 to $1,000 away for Ibiza or for Christmas or for a rainy day. Does this make sense to you? Could you see yourself doing this? Are you with me? Are you all getting this? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some likes. Give me some number ones in chat if you're getting this, if you're going to do this, if this makes sense to you. All right. We've got our self account. But Jeremy, should everyone get that? Yes. If you're a young adult and you're trying to start on your credit, or you're trying to start your kids' credit, yes, 100% you have to get that. It's the most amazing, awesome thing there is. I mean, it really is. It's as badass as I'm saying it is, and it's badass enough to say badass. Derek says, does it count if I'm doing it already? Yeah, Derek, yes. Having it counts as having it. Derek is also a young adult, bless his heart. Now Derek's one of our awesome up-and-coming credit coaches. You'll see him in the free credit repair advice group. Total credit rock star. He's doing awesome. So we've opened our self-lender. We've maybe become an authorized user on mom and dad's account to build a little history, kind of hack our credit a little bit, kind of little cheat code to get some credit cards open. Now, Jeremy, how many credit cards should I have as a young adult when I'm first starting off? The answer, I'm going to not be coy. The answer is 2 to 3. You want to have 2 to 3 total credit cards. Okay, doesn't mean you're maxing them, doesn't mean you're using them completely, but you should have 2 to 3 credit cards. But Jeremy, you only showed me one. You showed me the self account, which is an installment, which you should have, and then you get the credit card with it, which is a credit card, which you should have. Jeremy, where am I going to get the other ones? Okay, we're going to start out with something called the Capital One secured card. What's a secured card? Mom and dad, you might have to help your kids with this if you've got the cash to do so. Otherwise, guys, gals, if you're on your own, you're just going to have to rock star this one out. A secured card is this. You're going to the company Capital One at CapitalOne.com, and you click on the See What I Pre-Qualify For. Capital One will show you what card with them that you pre-qualify for without a hard inquiry, without costing you points. So it doesn't hurt you to check it out. Now, if it says they can't match you to an offer, that means you're going to be denied, but they can't tell you not to apply legally, but it means you're going to be denied. So if it says we can't match you to an offer, don't try, okay? Because you're not going to win. But most of the time, you're going to be able to get connected when you're new to credit to what's called a secured card. A secured card works like this. You go to Capital One, which is a bank, and you say, "Hi, bank, I want a $200 credit limit." The limit, that's how much you're allowed to spend total before you got to pay it back, all back, or parts of it. We'll get into that. So I want a $200 limit credit card. So Capital One goes, "Sounds good. Give me $200. So you give the bank $200. And that goes into an account that you don't get to touch. That acts as security. That acts as security on the $200 credit card. And then they give you the credit card with a 200 limit. And you can charge it up, you can pay it down, you can pay it off, you can use it again. As long as you're happy with them and they're happy with you, that can keep happening forever. When you close out that credit card 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you've got an 800 credit score and you got a house and you're a rock star, you get your $200 back. Also, sometimes Capital One, depending, will eventually release it, and then you still keep the card open, and now it's unsecured. Or maybe they keep it and they raise your limit to 500, so only 40% of it's secured, and that 200 is still yours. You can get that back at any time by closing the card. Now, here's the good part about Capital One secured cards. Depending on how they feel about you when you apply, you'll have to put a $200 deposit or a $99 deposit or a $49 deposit, depending on what they feel about your credit history. Now, mom and dad, if you've done the hack and you've added them as an authorized user, they might have to put a $0 deposit and get an unsecured card. That's why we might want to use that as a hack. But I recommend Capital One. I recommend it to my clients. I recommend it to my kids. I recommend it to you all. Okay. And I've got, what do I have now in there? Well, I think Jesse's 30 now. Sarah's 21. I got a bunch of daughters in their 20s and a son. And I got young ones. I don't know I got 7 kids, God, I'm not going to, anyway, that's a story for a different day. So go to CapitalOne.com, use the See What I Pre-Qualify For tool, and see what you pre-qualify for. All right. A second card I recommend. Now, this is if you are a student. But Jeremy, I'm not going to a school of any kind. If you're going to a school of any kind, you can go for this. But they will not give it to you if you're not going to school. This is the Discover Student Card. Discover Student Card. And there's like 9 of them. And the one that I got for my daughter, that's awesome, that she qualified for, just no problem, didn't have to secure it. Yeah, this Discover IT Student Card. If you go to tinyurl.com/Coach JDD Discover, Coach JD Discover, tinyurl.com/ I don't know why. I was trying to make it easier for you. tinyurl.com/Coach JD Discover for those of you on TikTok, and those of you everywhere else is that. You want I did say that. The Discover IT card is an amazing, fantastic, no fees, good interest, good terms card for college students, trade school students, whatever schooling you're in. If you're not in school, if you're not in college, unfortunately, you won't qualify for it. If you're in college, you can actually have an income of 0. Not a good idea to put that, but you can have an income of 0 and qualify for it, okay? Now, if you are not a student and you have someone who can add you as an authorized user, you may qualify straight up for a Discover card. That's also something you can get through that link. Okay. If you don't have someone to add you in as an authorized user, it doesn't matter. You're getting you're getting the self card, and you're getting at least the Capital One secured. Okay. So now we've got, fast forward into the future, we've got 2 to 3 revolving accounts, credit cards, and we've got one installment account, monthly installment. That's a self account reporting to our credit. That is a sweet, sweet place to start at 18, 19, 20. If my daughter Sarah is watching this, tell them what we did for. If you're watching this, go into comments and tell them what we did for you, what I did for you, and what we did with the accounts. And if you feel comfortable, give them an idea of where your score is sitting now. But they're able to buy a home. Her and her boyfriend were able to buy a home, able to finance a car, no cosigners needed, good rates, the whole 9 yards. And we started sitting down at 8. Sarah's at a 720. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. My daughter, Sarah, who just turned 21, has a 720 credit score. Just by doing literally exactly by the book, the exact same things I'm telling you to do. She's got a car, she's got a place to live, a house. She got 720 credit score. All right, so now we've got our installment account, and her fiance, not her boyfriend. TikTok, it's her fiance, not her boyfriend. So there you go. That's this. I used to have hair. I did. I used to have hair. Then I had teenage and young adult daughters, and then now I see that. You can see your reflection in my head. All right, I look like Uncle Fester. There, I beat the trolls to it. All right, so now you've got your credit cards open. Self just does its thing every month, monthly payment. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, say that again, Jerry. Fiance or financier. All I know is she's getting married to an awesome guy, and she's about to be his problem, not mine. So that rocks. All right, so anyway, the self takes care of itself. It's installment payments, equal monthly payments until it's paid off. But Jeremy, what do you do when it's paid off? Open another one. Yeah, I'm by the way, she's marrying an awesome dude. He made an honest woman of her. Oh, that didn't sound good. I don't think I meant it like that. Anyway, that's my daughter. She's a rock star though. So you've got your credit cards open. Now, there is a best way to use your credit cards, especially when you're first starting credit. There's a best way to use the credit cards that will add the most possible points to your credit score. And you guys, it's stupid simple. It is stupid simple. All right. So let's say we got that, we open self, we got that self credit card. So we're standing here. My name's Jeremy. I got a credit card. It's got a $200 credit limit. That means the maximum I can spend on the credit card and then have to pay back is $200. What happens if I spend all $200? My credit score goes to poop. Why? Because as I had said when I put up that FICO wheel before, amount of debt makes up 30% of your score. Too much debt means a bad score. Okay, so if I max that $200 card even for a while and then pay it down even for a while, my score still goes to poop. All right, and what are we doing? We don't want poop score. We want freaking awesome score, don't we? TikTok, you want an awesome score or poop score? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, awesome or poop? You choose. I'm not going to judge. You choose poop. That's all you. But I'm leaning towards the awesome score. I'm thinking that's why you're here. All right, so we don't want the poop score. We want the awesome score. So there's a usage with your credit card. There's a zone. There's a region. There's a percentage. That is the ultimate percentage. Awesome, Derek. Is the ultimate percentage to use that'll add the most points to your score every month. The thing is, it's a really small percentage of the card. Okay. The perfect utilization, the perfect percentage to use for the FICO algorithm. Remember we talked about the FICO algorithm. That's the math formula that makes your FICO score, that does your credit score, that risk rating. So there's a perfect zone. It's 1% of the limit to 3% of the limit. 1% of the limit to 3%. So I'm talking about a monthly spend on the card, a monthly daily balance, and a monthly payment on a $200 card of between $2 and $6. That's it. $2 and $6. Any more, you broke it. Any less, you broke it. If you use less than 1% a month, it's not considered activity. And you need activity to generate points for your score. That's why we're here today. Any more than 3%, you broke it. Because number one, you didn't listen to a FICO certified credit coach who's been doing this for 27 years and has looked at over 100,000 credit reports. But number two, and most importantly, you went outside the region that adds the most points to your score every month. And I'm doing this tonight for free. By the way, if I was sitting down with your parents and you doing a private consultation on this, I charge $275 an hour. I'm doing this free because I'm a big believer in giving back. Everyone's been good to me, so I want to be good to people for the most part. The people I like most people, except Derek and Rick. I like Derek and Rick. All right, so there's a region, a zone. It's 1 to 3%, 1 to 3%, 1 to 3% of what? The limit. 1 to 3% of $200. What if they give me a $500 limit? Whoa, it's 1 to 3% of $500. So that's $5 to $15. What about a 400 limit? $4 to $12. What about a $300 limit? $3 to $9 every single month, like clockwork. All right, and I'm saying you don't use it for anything else, nothing more than that. Now, what do we have? I like Cheryl. You see, I like Cheryl. I don't dislike Cheryl. Cheryl in our group is awesome. What do we have that costs $2 to $6? Does anyone have the student account of Spotify or the student Hulu? I would say Netflix is more expensive. They do have the student account for Hulu, the student account for Spotify. You can do it on iTunes. You can charge automatically an iTunes card up every single month. You can have the Netflix, as Cheryl's saying. You can have the $2 to $6 transfer onto an Amazon card or an iTunes card. Sarah says mine loads on the Amazon account. Absolutely. Hers loads on a card on my Amazon account. And Sarah, I probably owe you some money. She does $6 a month, I think, on my Amazon account. Just boom, boom, boom. And then when the bill is due, she sets it up so her checking account, Amazon Prime student, Derek says, that's right. Sarah sets it up so her checking account pays the credit card when it's due. So the Amazon, her case, the Amazon thing goes on $6, gets charged on the card, bam. And then when it's due, her checking automatically has it set up to pay the card when it's due, bam. So money goes on, money gets paid, money goes on, money gets paid, money goes on, money gets paid. Here's what's happening. Month starts off, bam, that Amazon hits. That's activity. You get points for activity. How many points are you going to get? I don't know. How much was the activity? It was 1 to 3% of the limit. So you're going to get the maximum number of FICO points for that activity. Now that money stays on the card as money owed until the bill is due. That makes what's called a trended average daily balance. Okay, a trended, meaning it's over a period of time. Average, it's the average of your daily balance. Daily balance being how much you owe from day to day on the card. So it gives you a trended average daily balance. You get points for that. How many points are you going to get? I don't know. What's your trended average daily balance? It's 1 to 3%. You're getting the maximum FICO score points. And then when the bill is due, your checking swoops in and boom, automatically pays it, showing the willingness and ability to repay in a timely fashion. And you get points for that. It happens again and again. Activity, average daily balance payment. Activity, average daily balance payment. Points, 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 points. What are you doing? You're funding your Amazon card. You're getting ready for the holidays. You're buying your Amazon student. You're doing your Discovery. You're doing your student Hulu. Your student Spotify. Something you're already buying. And now you're raising your FICO score. So what do you do with the other credit cards? Jeremy, you said to do that on self. What do I do with the other ones? Same thing. You're going to not, I mean, you don't want to buy 3 Hulus, unless you do. I'm not going to judge. But you're going to do the same thing. You're going to find something that you spend, a subscription style thing, funding a preloaded Visa card, something. You're going to find something that can automatically go every month on that card, and you're going to set your checking up to automatically pay. So we got activity, average daily balance payment happening all across the board. Now we have got the self account. So we've got an installment account making equal monthly payments until it's paid off. And when it's paid off, it's your money. But because you took a bank obligation, they report it to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion as installment payments on a bank obligation, rounding out your profile, raising your score while you're tucking money away for that rainy day. We open up that self credit card. We set it up with our Amazon, our Hulu, weird points. We go and we open up that Capital One card I talked about, points. The Discover IT card, points. And mom and dad, if you can, this is the one time I'm giving you a blessing. Sister, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin, nephew, girlfriend, boyfriend, or non. I'm so bad with political correct. I'm not even going to try. Other people, everybody, them, they, us, we, everybody. If you can put someone on as an authorized user in the beginning as an introduction to credit, it will help. It will help obtain those cards. So, wow, we've gone through a lot. Let's recap some of this. Let's recap real quick. So, what's the first step? What's the first step in this thing? Well, you want to know what's going on. So you can't know what's going on your credit without taking a look at it. Well, how do we find out what's on our credit for free? We go to annualcreditreport.com and get your free credit report from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. That's 3 bureaus. We go to annualcredit.com. We see if we've got a profile and what's on there, and we take care of anything that's negative, and there'll be more directions forthcoming after this video on different videos on what to do about that. But we can check out how we're doing on annual credit. Mom and dad, aunt and uncle, anyone who can help. If you can add the child, your son, your daughter, your young adult as an authorized user, or your friend or your spouse as an authorized user, it will make it easier for them to obtain those first credit cards like that Capital One, that Discover. We're then going to open Self Lender. We're going to go to tinyurl/getself, GETSELF, getself. I like that because tinyurl.com, getself. And we're going to open our self account. That's that installment payment where we're tucking money away for a rainy day, and it reports to credit as monthly installment payments on a bank obligation, rounding out the profile, building the score, tucking money away for a rainy day. That's so awesome. And then they're going to issue you a credit card later on. You're going to have to ask for it. They're going to send you something saying, hey, you qualify for this. And you're going to say, yeah, sounds good, I'll take it. And then we're going to put our Spotify, our Amazon Student, our Hulu, our whatever on there. We're going to start checking up to automatically pay that card when it's due. We're going to open up our Capital One secured unless we're lucky enough to have someone who can add us as an authorized user, and we go ahead and we qualify for unsecured. If we're a student, we're going to open the Discover student card, and we're going to do the same thing once we have these things open. Once they're active, we're going to do 1 to 3% automatic monthly spends on the card. We're going to then set our checking up to automatically pay it when it's due. Then you're going to leave the card at home because it's way too easy to justify using it. It is, you guys. It's super easy to fall into a credit card trap and totally screw your credit from the word go. Okay. You can do it right or you can do it wrong. I'm teaching you right now everything that you actually need to adult here. Everything you need to adult when it comes to credit, I'm teaching you right now. 1 to 3% on those things. And then if you don't trust yourself, cut the card up or leave it at home in your sock drawer, but don't carry it with you. Don't carry it with you. All right. So as that happens after a while, mom and dad, you've used your authorized user account to get them the cards. Now you take them off the authorized user. So they're standing on their own 2 feet. They're walking, they're running, and you're off to your credit journey. All right. I went through a lot tonight. I am thrilled that you all hung with me. I want to thank you for joining me. And for those of you who've not seen me before, make sure to like, to subscribe, to follow, all the good things. I do these lives every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific in the free credit repair advice group, the free credit repair advice home of the guarantee group on Facebook. It's got 73,000 people in it. You're welcome to join it. Follow me on TikTok. Gosh, I should probably know what my TikTok name is. I'll tell you. Let's find out. Let's find out what my name is on TikTok. Let's see where we're going. All right. We're going to view our profile. I am Credit Coach Jeremy on TikTok, but guess what? If you're watching me on TikTok, you already knew that. But for those of you who aren't on TikTok yet or aren't following me, it's Credit Coach Jeremy on TikTok. I do some other stuff I don't do in the free credit repair advice group there, all on credit. But feel free, please, to join me at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific every Wednesday night. And for those of you who are looking to hire a professional, I am available to hire with Credilife, with the VIP Credilife program. To book a no-cost initial consultation with me, there's no cost because I haven't done anything yet. Just go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com and pick a day, an evening, or even a weekend, and we'll talk about what's on your credit. We'll talk about your goals. For those of you who need credit repair, we're going to talk about how we're going to repair it, and we'll put together a plan, steps, and action items to get you to where you want to be. We're also having an amazing slashed price sale. We've dropped our onboarding from $299 for an individual to $149. We've dropped our monthly fee from $135 to $115 for an individual. This is sick. We're doing it to fight inflation. Inflation sucks, so we deflated our prices. So if you want to look into the Credilife program, go to www.bookcoachjeremy.com. And for more free credit repair advice, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Facebook, join me at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific in the free credit repair advice group. Wow, on Facebook. Went through a lot tonight. I want to thank you all for joining me live. Those of you watching on repeat, thank you all so much. It's an honor to be here and help you get started on your credit journey. And gosh, I just look forward to seeing you all again next week. Let me know if you've got questions, throw them in the comments section. And I appreciate being able to be here to serve you. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Today, everything is impacted by credit, so it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started Credilife, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.